Candyman 2021 is directed by DaCosta, and it is the spiritual successor, as they are saying, for this movie. And this takes place in Chicago, where a guy named Anthony, who is an artist, is trying to look for more inspiration in the world. He wants more pieces to sell, and in doing so, he ends up uncovering some deep, dark myths and legends that he may not have wanted to in the end. Now, the direction for this movie is really, really good. The story that she kind of goes along with is pretty good all the way through. This is going to be one of the harder reviews that I do because there's so much perspectives and stuff that I don't really understand, comparative to other people. There's a lot to be desired for me in the end for these things. But nevertheless, when we get into this, it's just, there's some stuff I really enjoyed, and then there's some stuff that I wanted more from. For starters, I thought the visuals and how the shots were set up and everything involving that stuff, phenomenal. I loved it. There was so many great things that were shown in the movie. There were so many great long shots. There were so many long takes in the movie. It's just, and there were so many you see shots from underneath, and it's just the visuals in this movie are going to stick with me for a while. I found it so compelling. I found it so interesting. It looked different than most stuff that you see nowadays. And I really did enjoy that part of the movie a lot. The story, however, it is a great story to kind of tell in a different perspective. However, I will say that the way that they kind of paced it and the way that they kind of went around it felt a little flat at times. You get a pretty interesting opening with the story, and then once stuff starts happening, I never felt a build up to a big climactic finish to the movie. I thought that most of the way through it was just kind of plodding along, which is weird to say because there are kills throughout the entire movie. There are things happening in the entire movie. But for whatever reason, it felt like the ending just happened, came out of really nowhere, and then it just rushed its finish. So I don't know how things were really going with the script writing, and I don't know how mostly it's a feel kind of deal, because in the end when it ended, I was kind of I liked a lot of it, but I mean I wanted more. There was so much more that I wanted from the story itself. I will say everyone does a really good job with the material that's given. The cast is really good. Yahya Abdul-Mateen, if I'm mispronouncing all these names, I do apologize, as Anthony is a really good lead. Teyonah Parris as Brianna is a really good companion piece with Anthony. They're partners in this. And then even Colman Domingo, who plays William Burke, who is the guy that really is giving the legend material to Anthony. He's really good in the movie too. So in the end, I just think it's more of the story just didn't land at certain parts of it. It wasn't really necessarily the actor's fault. It was more of the just how it culminated in the end. And one of the things I will say about this movie that I did enjoy quite a bit in some parts, and then in some parts I didn't, was the gore. This is a slasher movie, and you do get some gore in it, but you also don't get a lot, and I don't know how I feel about this. I really want to see I want this video to kind of get shared around, and I really want people to go see this movie to really kind of tell me how they feel about it, because all in all, movies are subjective, and obviously you're just here to listen to an opinion of mine, obviously, and you can have your own opinions too, and I want to hear that. And the gore factor is one of the things that I want to hear about the most, because it's I found this movie scary in parts, but it builds suspense and is a thriller throughout the entire time, but it never felt scary all the time. And I wonder if the gore was part of the factor of that, because there are some gory bits in this movie, but then there are some parts where it's I really would have liked to seen that a little bit more. I wanted to see more stuff involving the gore. So that's one of the weird things in horror, where it's less is more, but then also more is more. So where is the balance between that, Also, we'll leave this on a bit of a positive note. The music choice that is given for this movie is really good. Jordan Peele really has a niche for finding the right music for his movies. I thought he's got this down packed as far as like music can make something that may not seem too scary. So, whatever he's done to get this kind of down, whoever he's been hiring to do this sort of stuff, he's been doing a great job, because in every movie that he's done now, I've enjoyed the music as like one of the top 3 things of the movie. It's something that you don't hear about too often, but in horror movies, he understands that the music is definitely key to making a successful horror movie. In the end, I liked a lot of stuff from Candyman, and I was left wanting more in a lot of different areas, but this is definitely a movie that I would recommend, and I really want to hear your thoughts on. I'm going to give Candyman 2021 3.5 stars. Thank you guys so much for watching, and you know that the legend says you're not supposed to say Candyman's name 5 times, because otherwise he will appear and kill you. I don't know if I necessarily believe that, so let's try that for a second, why don't we, alright? Candyman. 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 Candyman.